What is up the world, it's your boy Milky Dad here, welcoming you to Sultan Sanctuary. I'll be honest, this is going to be the most cringiest video I'm ever going to make, more than likely. First time, gonna give it a shot. Fuck it, let's see if we can have some fun. I'll be honest, I've played through this game plenty of times. So much so that I've actually completed it with challenges on. You can't really tell because it's behind the New Game Plus. But yes, this time around I wanted to do something a little different. Not to mention, because of my love of this game is the reason why I've decided for it to be my first Let's Play. Because I want to have some originality. I don't want to, you know, be a Minecraft YouTuber. Totally not, no. But that aside, I feel like it would be only fun if we were to do a sort of run as a cosplay. I'll be honest, I do not know who to cosplay. So at first, I'm just going to leave it as myself. But I'm honestly thinking about the Sultan Knight for the majority of the game. With this in mind, I'm going to be going for the unspeakable deep fight. I'm going to attempt to beat him. Hopefully I do first try. If not, fuck it, I don't know. Who gives a shit, really? And I honestly hope I can have you guys enjoy. I will not be keeping these videos for too long, but I will not be keeping them short as well. And I plan on doing a two-handed greatsword build, honestly. So if you guys have already seen it, well, hopefully I can give you some originality, I don't know. Yeah. Honestly, when starting off, it doesn't really matter what class you pick. Might I just say now, do not start with magic, or as a mage. Only do so if you actually know the game. You'll find the game a lot more enjoyable that way. Same deal with daggers. Like, I cannot stress that enough. This game can be really fun or really challenging depending on the classes you pick. I mean, oh wow, I can't even say that fucking name. Yep, go me. Scar Studios actually did a really good job at this game, in my opinion. It's honestly really, really well done and polished. As a starting class, I'm honestly going to pick the Knight. Probably one of the most boring starting classes. But, what are you going to do? I'm going for heavy armor and swords. The stuff literally comes with it. Oh, I should probably explain some things and show off some of the hairstyles as well. This game honestly has some bits of unique categories, I'll say. But then again, there are certain things that in my opinion could be done better. Mainly the hairstyles, within my personal opinion. I don't think I'm the only one alone here. As nice as these options and diversities are, there's just not enough. But you gotta get that from a two-person made game. Husband and wife, actually. Same deal with the beards. The colours, they did very well. Excluding the eye colours where they missed purple. Man, wouldn't that have been cool? Origin doesn't really have any stat changes, it's just the way you look, really. So the only real things that matter, because the rest is all cosmetics, the only thing that matters will be your class, which, bear in mind, I'll explain it all later, but all it really does for you as for the starting fight would be picking out what you go into with it. Honestly, within my opinion, I personally think the Cleric and the Paladin are some of the best starting offs. But with the class that I'm going to be running, the Knight is going to work best for me. You can actually access the challenges by pressing down again. But not a lot of people noticed, nor did I when I started off. But the challenges, I'm not going to do any. It would be boring to do a hardcore run because I will die instantly. Magic only doesn't fit the build, nor did the rest. I want to have clothes on. I guess I could do no blocking. You know what? Yeah, let's do a no blocking run. We may as well have some notoriety with this. And these effects that it mentions isn't like a buff or debuff. It's actually starting items. You start off with, if you were to pick red shards for example, you get 10 mediocre, if not, in my opinion, crappy healing items. So, and a very common drop too, you get it early game, you can buy it. One of the worst things you can get. The Stone Sellsword, it adds a 10% block increase rate when placed down in a sanctuary. And sanctuaries are these places that you find in certain areas, and these particular stone blanks give you certain buffs and also other features. This one in particular allows you to have 10% block increase and allows you to do local multiplayer. In my opinion, it's one of the best ones for when you have friends over and you two want to play. Unfortunately, to my knowledge, this is only a 2-player game. But still, the fact that they were able to implement it is still amazing. The Amber Idol is honestly one of the better starting off items. I will be personally starting off with it because, well, with the whole Sword of Night theme, I'm going to need to upgrade the Greatsword, which you'll get later on. Honestly, again, it's one of the better options. Personally, I think the Stone Sellsword and the Crystal Sphere is one of the better ones. The Grasping Ring, in my opinion, is one of the... It could have been the best starting item. Problem is, the salt... It gets you an increase of salt by 10%, actually. But the thing is, you can't stack its ability. So if you get the ring later on in the game, which isn't on... It's honestly early game. If you could stack it, then it would be good. But because of this, I'm not gonna bother. The Crystal Sphere, it's honestly one of the better ones as well. But what it does, it allows you to convert a sanctuary to your own creed. The main reason why I'm explaining this is in case some people find me first. I'll be surprised, but just want to cover my grounds. I'll make sure to try to see if I can make it so I can say in the description, hey, you want to skip certain things? Go to this time link or whatever. And if you wanted to try to beat the Unspeakable Deep, I recommend going naked. As silly as it may seem, it's the best way to go. Because I don't even know if it's possible to do it with armor on. What I'm checking now is to see if I can wear any armor, because your movement speed is not dependent on what type of armor you're wearing. For example, I'm wearing heavy armor and yet my speed was not different. What's dependent on is the bottom left, the equip load. You can press L2 on the PS4 edition to change it from the number base to the stat base. And what equip load is how much percentage of your maximum load you are carrying. Now at 25% or under, I'm going to be safe and say 24.9% and under, you get the fastest roll in the game, the fastest stamina regen in the game, and the fastest ladder climb in the game. At, I believe, over 25% and under 49.9% is when you get the slower move, the slower climb, but you're still pretty fast, honestly. But then once you get to 50% to 74.9% and higher, that's when you start getting a slower roll. Now, I am damn confident to say that there's no way you could beat the boss with this. Let alone with 75% or higher. You get this very crappy, very low speed, your stamina does not increase, and then once you get to over 100%, you just flat out walk. No, there's no questions about it. You go like at this speed, even slower for the entire game. You can't jump. I don't even know if you can climb ladders or go down them. But honestly, it's better to go with as light of an equipment load as you possibly can. I'll be honest, this first episode will probably just be an introduction. It probably won't be too much. Ugh! You stranger! We've been boarded in the night. Ugh. They want to kidnap a lady. Ugh. Ransom her. Protect. And then we get straight into the combat. I will be trying to do unique voices for each character. Some may seem repetitive. I've not practiced enough. Especially considering my mic's terrible. I'm literally using the default PS4 recorder. I have zero soundproof in my room. It's not obvious. I will be going to try to make the videos as best of quality as possible. Bear in mind, I'm still in school. I don't have a job yet. But there's no way that I'll be able to do this without there being some lack of quality. So hopefully I can make up with it with information and knowledge. And yeah, I know, the first thing that pops to mind is the dude who's like, you look at my bookshelf, I'm so knowledgeable. Anyway, so this is the Unspeakable Deep, a boss fight that's meant to lose at the start of. But if you want to get the Platinum Trophy like I have, you have to beat him. Now, this is where the Cleric becomes one of the best classes in the game to do this, start off with. Because it starts off with light armor, so you have some protection. But the other weighs so little that you still have that 25% while still being able to take one full hit if you're at full health. Not to mention, the daggers are the fastest hitting weapon in the game. And you can have, I believe it's called a Blessed Page on them, making it so that they can deal like 10 damage instead of 4. And they can do it rapidly too. They can this boss fight end very quickly. Well, in comparison to the rest of the classes. Which is why I personally believe the Knight is one of the worst classes, because you deal in 6 damage and you got no buffs or nothing to throw, no nothing. It's just this raw 6 damage throughout. Now, honestly, you could argue, oh well, but your starting points, that's what really matters. Which is, in this case, the actual truth. But normally, honestly, if you could beat him with the other classes and just get it over and done with, you can invest those points already into these stat points. The only reason why I'm not is because I want to be able to do as quick of a roll as possible while wearing the heaviest armor with one of the most heaviest weapons in the game. The third heaviest to my knowledge. I believe the Great Axe and the Great Hammer are heavier, but with the Great Hammer being the heaviest. Personally, I absolutely love the Great Hammer. I haven't tried the Great Axe, but in my opinion, the Great class of weapons, the ones that you have to two-hand mostly, in my opinion, they're the best in the game. They're honestly great. Besides my terrible puns, this is probably going to take even longer than it already is. I'm pretty cautious when versing this dude. Most because he's a pain in the ass, I have to reset. It's fucking obnoxious. Bear in mind, I still need to develop my voice for this, so thank you for tolerating it for this long. Again, this is my first time ever recording. I've not done any form of live streaming, not gotten any tips, no collabs. I've only been doing shit with mates, honestly, when it comes to on a mic. And I'm hoping that I can provide some form of unique content for everyone and be able to, I guess, fill that source of entertainment, because I know personally I love watching myself on YouTube, especially for certain games. Like, I'll binge watch Undertale, I'll binge watch Salt and Sanctuary. But I find with like Salt, there's not enough people that know about this game. Fuck! Oh well. See, I kind of got greedy there, and that's how I fucked up. Failing this mission will surely plunge us into darker days. I awoke to the sound of waves crashing. Oh, what? Fuck! Washing on the rocks. I knew then I was alive. I must find the princess. Fuck it. Who cares? Story's good and all, but meh. We're not. That's not what we're here for necessarily. It's a shame though. I really would have loved to have that extra salt in that. Wow. Hello there. You're just a fleshy bits of flotsam. Wash the shore with the rest of us. You want shelter. You want sanctuary. But what is a sanctuary without faith? There's an empty sanctuary up at the beach. You could claim it for yourself, your own creed. Tell me, do you keep to the new gods? I'm only gonna say yes to give you guys the full dialogue, but I will not be going to the new gods. Most men follow the three deities: the king, the knight, and the judge. The king leaves wisdom to the men who lead. The knight protects warriors in combat, and the judge guides those who maintain order. Are you a follower of the three then? Personally, I think the Freed is not all that good, nor is the Iron Ones. The Goddess of Light is the one I'm going to be picking, but I still want to go through the Iron Ones dialogue. Men from the mountains of the northern continent of Markdor. Markdor, wow, I actually now realize how stupid that sounds saying that out loud. Are Iron Ones. They believe in no gods, believing instead of the iron will of man. They love steel, but hate magic. Are you a member of the Iron Ones then? Followers of Devourer's light. Followers of the Goddess of Light worship Devourer, deity of humanity, kindness, and forgiveness. Her creed is perhaps the oldest known creed, though this could be a consequence of its clerics meticulous with record keeping. Are you a pilgrim of Devourers? Right then. Yes. Follow the Goddess of Light. Your journey will be difficult. Accept this earthen vessel. It will bring Devourer's blessing to a vacant sanctuary up ahead. Now, honestly, Devourer's Light, personally I would have gone with the Iron one, how I did on the first one. Well, actually, technically speaking, the first one I went with the 3 because I was told to, but in reality, when I heard about the other 3 being an option, I went with the Iron ones. Being an atheist myself, I thought they were the coolest one. Only to find that Devourer's Light has just a hidden buff that makes the rest kinda shit. Mostly being in the water. A vial of incandescent liquid. Its color shifts like prison? Coffee to restore some health. And the next part is the main reason why you should go with these guys, especially for a heavy armor build. Gain a few seconds of divine protection. Now, that could, a lot of people, and myself included, thought, hey, maybe that gives you holy defense. It's not that good. But it actually doubles the defense of everything you have. It doesn't say so, but you see that white smoke with the red? How it's just white smoke now? That's how you can tell. It's not that long, but when you're in a boss fight, you're low on health and then you drink it, you can face tank them because you're gaining health and have double armor. Speaking of armor, I should probably put the rest back on. I was hoping to beat the boss, be able to not have the shitty ass roll, but at the very least have a decent roll at 50%. But I guess it wasn't meant to be. Now, I'm honestly going to go up to the Phase 3 banquet, go up to the checkpoint, and then stop the episode there. Because already it's been long enough with all my talking and blabbing on. Also, one thing not many people actually know, you can do mini combos. Yes, you have your light and heavy attacks. But the thing is, you can also use light attacks in combos. For example, I'm just holding down, using down and square, and I can get this up air hitting. I actually was astonished to hear about this. Same deal with holding up and just square. You get this like little mini jump attack. I believe each weapon and class has their own unique attack. But I don't know enough about the game to that full extent to be able to tell you. All I know is that carry rate can affect the combos you do, especially with daggers. If you have over 50%, you're just getting a slash. That's it. Like, so you can't even like do heavy weapons with light armor and instead of, you know, heavy weapons, heavy armor, and having to invest so much into carry rate. The game is actually smart enough to make you have to stick to your side of the tree. Which in my opinion is actually very fucking genius of the creators. The Phase 3 Banquet is honestly one of the easiest areas in the game. Oh, what do you expect? It's the first area. But it's honestly not the easiest at the same time. You have a gauntlet of enemies to go through before you get anywhere, and a lot of them are actually a lot more harder to kill in comparison to enemies in the game. Like, bear in mind, yeah, I'm taking 3 shots here to kill them, and that's pretty tough and all, but later on, you end up having the weapons be that strong that you're 2-shotting them there, instead of here where you're 3-shotting them. Now, a lot of people could say, oh, well, but isn't this area still easier? I mean, you can 1-shot them there. The thing that most people don't even really get is the fact that, you're meant to be able to go about the game at about the same difficulty within these sort of games. Now, one area comes to mind that really uncertainly, like ridiculously, puts that rule over its head. And that would be the Pitchwoods. The Spindle Beast in particular. They're these unicorn little fucks with the fucking, whatever the fuck the horn part, the horn on the head is. They charge at you and they fucking spike you with it. They have no other attack besides that grab, sort of like what that dog did to me where I couldn't move. They do nothing but that. They normally 1-shot you, and even if you do survive, you're still stuck there, just sitting, waiting to get hit again, basically. So, yeah, sure, they're easy to take on at range. But most people don't even know how to use magic properly. Myself included. I've only, after so many playthroughs, know how to now. And I'm coming up this way because the Granado is one of the best weapons to use against the Sword of Knights, the boss that's in this area. Not only that, but the ring you get here is actually really good for early game, in my opinion. Yeah, it's a good ring in general, but you just fight better ones later, so it basically makes it, because with my health bar, the more damage I take, the more health I lose, but also the more maximum health I lose. Same deal with my stamina, which is the blue bar. And the white bar underneath that represents the stamina's loss with bar. It's known as your focus. And when that goes down, you actually lose stamina permanently. There are certain items in the game that can restore this, same with the red bar with prayers. But even going to a sanctuary, as you saw then, can restore all that. I'm going to take on the first boss before I finish this episode. And I'll pick back up straight after. So hopefully I don't die on my first attempt. I also recommend you do not use your Granados at the start of the fight. And also, I do highly recommend you organize your inventory. Because that's one thing that can really fuck you over in this game. Is poor inventory management. And here he is, the Sword of the Knight, the first boss we're going to cosplay. I may do a new game plus run, well, cosplay the final boss of the game, which I will not spoil. Even though if you're watching this, you probably know who it is. Just in case, I'm gonna keep it all secret-y. You know how it goes. No spoilers here, fuck it. This dude at the start of the fight is ridiculously easy, especially if you know what you're doing. He has slow wind-ups, sometimes he has fast attacks, but he always sheaths his sword. That's his weakness. You can hit him multiple times when he sheaths that sword, so making him very vulnerable, and some of his attacks are just very long-winded too. But at the second phase of this boss fight, that's when he doesn't joke around, which is why you want to save your grenades for after. And there he is, easy win, GG, well played, he's been vanquished. And now with that, you get the Fortress Key and the Southern Knight's Ashes. And I'm going to leave it at that. Next episode, I'll quickly run over the details of the items for those who are curious. And we'll be moving on to the next area. I'll do some level up and a tiny bit of grinding. Don't forget to like, favourite and subscribe if you so feel inclined. Enjoy your day. I'll be seeing you guys next time. Peace.